Girlfriend cheated once in past relationship. I'm torn on what to do moving forward. I 27M have been dating my girlfriend 27F for a couple of months now. When we first started dating she mentioned previous relationships, as did I, and we talked about dating expectations. Things of that nature. Normal stuff. Healthy stuff to talk about. Anyways, she mentioned this one guy she dated a few years ago and that it ended really poorly. I assumed he did something to her. Turns out she, these are her words, did something that reflects poorly on her. At the time I didn't press the issue because I knew she wasn't ready to talk about it. But I knew she cheated on him. I just knew it in my soul and bones. Fast forward 2 months and she finally was able to tell me the full story with full context. I use quotes see it isn't full context. It's really just her side of things. But I got exactly what happened. I won't bore with the details but I won't lie, we were both in tears by the end of the story. Long story short, she completely sabotaged that relationship and fucked some other dude just so she could end things with that guy. He didn't do anything to deserve it. Those were her words, not mine. I asked her if she felt remorse and she said yes. I asked if she takes full responsibility for her actions and she said yes. She's obviously still to this day, 2 or 3 years later, torn about what happened. She knows what she did was wrong. She knows it was a horrible thing to do. But I dunno, I feel completely torn about it. She's a kind and loving person and she really cares about me. But I'm horrified that I'll wake up one day to know she had fucked someone else because she was bored with me or something. I want to be with her but I'm scared. Edit. There's been some truly wonderful advice here. Thank you all. She told you about her past up front when the relationship is at the serious point. She tells you honestly how she felt and assigns no blame but to herself. She shows regret and is torn up about what she did. If she was going to cheat, I doubt any of this would have surfaced at all. The fact she told you so early shows she's being vulnerable to you, but also if you leave it's only been a few months so it will hurt less. You should talk to a therapist and get these thoughts out. What you have here I doubt you'll find again and you'll be a fool to let it freak you out, but this is just my opinion. She's being honest in telling you. I would just file this away in my mind as, she has cheated, so you know she was at least capable of it before. You ever see any red flags you'll know to pay attention to them immediately going forward. She'll never have the benefit of the doubt being able to say, I'd never do that. She's done it before. Maybe she's changed. Give her +1 for honesty, -1 for cheating in the past. Just tell her she gets 0 strikes in this regard with you. Like, I don't trust her very far when it comes to hanging out with guy friends, for example. Any shady phone behavior. You're not crazy for fearing the worst. You can't live your life avoiding pain. It doesn't work. If she cheats, it's going to hurt no matter what you do. If you refuse to ever feel the pain of being cheated on, the only thing you can do is never date. That's not to say that everyone cheats or she will cheat. It's the reality that you will never have the ability to avoid pain unless you just refuse to love. You have 2 choices here. 1. Stay with her and potentially be cheated on. 2. Leave her and potentially be cheated on by someone else. You cannot control these things. You can certainly limit your risk by not being with someone that has cheated before. But you are just lucky you even know that she cheated before. Most would never admit unless forced. I don't really tell people this, but I guess my experience might help. I have been in a very similar situation to your girlfriend. I knew deep down my previous relationship wasn't right for me, but I still loved him and didn't know how to end it or if I 100% wanted to. I ended up cheating on him with a friend, and after he found out, I didn't even have the guts to tell him he broke up with me. It's the worst thing I've ever done, and 2 years later I still struggle to treat myself compassionately about it. Having done that and felt that guilt and shame and anger at myself for hurting someone I love, I could just never ever do that to anyone again. I think her telling you about it is really brave of her, and I think your response is so measured and lovely. I really wish you 2 the best of luck. Long story short, she completely sabotaged that relationship and fucked some other dude just so she could end things with that guy. He didn't do anything to deserve it. Those were her words, not mine. She could not just walk away. I see that the majority say stay with her. You can trust her. I disagree. The saying, once a cheater, always a cheater, isn't a saying for no reason. When it comes to cheating, there are 2 kinds of people, those that have it in them, and those that don't. I personally think your girlfriend's reason is the worst I have heard yet. Was she lonely? No. Was she angry at him? No. Did he abuse her? No. He was a really nice and caring guy, and she chose to break up by destroying him. If she can do that to a guy who didn't deserve it, what will she do if she's angry with you? I would wish her the best of luck, and run for the hills. She has my utmost respect for telling you. But I would still run. This wouldn't sit well with me. I don't trust people easily, and this kind of information would concern me and make me head for the exit. She was honest, so she deserves some credit for that, but I guess you'll just have to trust her and see what happens." Yikes. So many people in the comments commenting from their own experience and pushing you to accept her. These aren't the people I'd take advice from in this specific topic. I think you already made up your mind though. I understand it's difficult to just quit a relationship when your significant other hasn't done you any wrong. From my point of view, I'd never date someone like that simply because I know how it feels to be on the other side. People who have it in them to treat someone else they supposedly care about this horribly, specifically as horrendously as your girlfriend, are just another breed of humans. Once a cheater, always a cheater. The fact she did it to intentionally hurt the guy she was seeing makes it even worse. Sounds like she has major moral character flaws, and once someone has crossed that line, being a cheater, it becomes a hell of a lot easier to cross again. It's always easy to say as an internet rondo with no emotional connection to her, but I think it would bug me enough to be a deal breaker. Granted, I'm a child of divorce where cheating kinda nuked the life I had, so I consider it much worse than most people do. Unforgivable. And the fact instead of just breaking up she had to inflict maximum damage by cheating with some rondo. Definitely a big nope. Can't judge another person for not knowing how to break up with someone. Your partner stated that they learned from their past. Now it's up to you to trust them on it. If you do not want to, don't leave. Your happiness is key to a sane life. This time, have a chat with your partner and advise them that you want a relationship where you can talk about anything. Especially when one of you falls out of love. Remember, you are happy adults who decided to share that happiness. Your partner should be an addition to your happiness, not the reason for it. I'm rooting for you guys. Be a better version of yourselves. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Look, dude, beautiful women are not a scarce commodity. Don't waste your time on women who fuck guys to end a relationship. Also, if you think that this was some kind of one-off, you are mistaken. Even if this was the only time she fucked a guy to end a relationship, that kind of thing doesn't happen in a vacuum. Detach yourself for a moment and realize that this was just one example of a likely pattern on instability. She will fuck some other dude because she is a cheater. It will have nothing to do with you, the relationship, or her boredom. She did you a kindness by telling you. If she didn't get therapy, then she is not ready to be in a real relationship. Your gut is telling you something. You should listen to your gut. I'm a firm believer that once a cheater, always a cheater. If I was dating someone and they told me in a previous relationship they had cheated, it'd be a deal breaker for me and I'd end the relationship. If someone has it in their personality to cheat, that will never completely just stop. The inclination will always be there because they've done it once before, so they know how to do it again. I'd always have it in the back of my mind that if the going got tough between us and she got positive attention elsewhere, she'd take it further. Obviously you do you, but it'd definitely make me slow things a bit with her. Well, you got toe choice here. You trust her all the way and give her the freedom you would give to any other girl, or you go half and don't trust her, fuck the relationship and maybe scar both party for the rest of your life. Said like that it seem easy, but it not. Take a good hard look at what you can live with before going on with the relationship. You should be. She already told you who she is. Believe her. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I would walk away. Sounds like my ex 3 years ago and sounds like you're dating her. She probably doing the same to you. She stole my dog. Follow your gut feelings and leave while you still have some pride. Because of the reason she gave, I think that you should take the risk. The biggest reasons that people cheat are selfishness, entitlement, and impulsiveness. Repeat cheaters never want to say that about theirself, so they give excuses that are outside of them, such as, I was lonely, I did it because we didn't have enough sex, or, I wasn't getting enough attention. While her reason isn't the most common reason of being selfish, entitled, and/or impulsive, her reason of cowardice does happen and is believable. Also, it doesn't assign blame to anyone but herself. That's why I think you should give her a shot if you really loved her. I don't think this girl is going to cheat on you because she's bored with you. Regret doesn't define someone's character, actions do. While people can change, the saying once a cheater, always a cheater didn't fall from the sky. If you choose to continue your relationship with her, you'll have to do it knowing that there's a chance she'll cheat on you too once the relationship starts to slow down. And also, just because she came clean and feels bad about it, doesn't mean she won't do it ever again. Keep that in mind. According to psychology, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Did she apologize to the guy? Put any effort into making amends? Saying that you regret something is easy. Acting on it is the real test of character. Dude, get out. She is giving you an out and you are not taking it. Now ask yourself, what is the next course of action in her playbook? Also, it will eat at you. Every time she is late coming home, she is out with friends, she is in a bad mood, she is bored, etc., your brain will not be able to rest. Do you want that kind of anxiety in your life? Get out now when it hurts less, rather than when you are married with kids and half your assets are gone and you are meeting your kids every other weekend. I say dump her to the streets and continue on. This is a tough one. A lot of people are praising her honesty, which is great, but depending on your past, you might not be able to accept it, and that is okay as well. It's a deal breaker for me. I was dating a woman a while ago that told me her last relationship ended because she cheated. She was honest as well that she cheated because she felt trapped in her previous relationship and didn't know how to get out. She has gone to therapy, done things to work on that side of her, etc. But based on my past marriage dissolved due to infidelity, I was just immediately turned off. It just completely changed the way I felt. There are two kinds of cheaters. Some do it once and it tears them apart and they never do it again. Others do it, feel no remorse and make a habit out of it. I think you're safe from her cheating on you. Keep up the open communication. I think all will be well. Proceed with caution, man. People don't change emo. The past is the past. People do learn from their mistakes. Would I be on guard? Yes. But the adage that, once a cheater, always a cheater, is not actually true. Live in the present. Your relationship is about the two of you and no one else. If it affects you to know your girlfriend cheated before, it's forever going to be on your mind. You'll always wonder. Get new girlfriend. Everyone makes bad decisions at some point, some worse than others. I have friends who have cheated, friends who have committed felonies, friends that have done pretty bad shit. To err is to be human. What really matters is if you learn the lesson and come out better at the end. People change. It happens every day, all the time. If she is remorseful, she regrets it, she says it's her fault, and she told you about it, what are you worried about? Seems like she's grown into a better person. I believe cheating comes from a place of selfish cowardice. It's great she feels remorse and isn't heartless, but has she done to build boundaries and morals? Cry about it? Or go to therapy, read some books, journal, really put in the time to understand why she did what she did and how to make sure she will never do that again. I think some cheaters can change. But has she really? She knew what she did was wrong before she did it. Don't forget that. Anyone that would do this doesn't have a problem doing something wrong if it satisfies her needs in the moment. If you don't already have kids, I don't see the wisdom in staying with her. She isn't a good person. Talk about it. Make some boundaries together. If she really can wake up one day with the urge to cheat, then that cannot be stopped. But make sure you will not be held in the dark while it's happening. Still, the fact that she told you is really big. People can change and there is a big chance that it was a one-time thing. She tried it, didn't like the result, she still feels bad about it, so I doubt she'll want to experience this all over again. My current boyfriend confided in me that he cheated on his last girlfriend a year before we started dating. I'll admit, it had my alarm bells up. But I asked him the same questions you did. Do you regret it? Do you feel remorse? Do you feel as if you learned and grew since then? I feel like the answers in which your partner gives you to these questions are important. She obviously seems like she has remorse for it and feels horribly about it. I also think she wouldn't tell you if she was planning on cheating on you. Has she been in many, if any, relationships since? How did that go? How did it go with the guy she cheated with? Did she intend to start something with him? Those are all really important questions, emo. Of course she is going to say she is remorseful. Personally, I couldn't date someone knowing they were so cowardly and chose to intentionally hurt someone rather than do the hard thing and break up. I wouldn't trust her not to do the same to me, or do similar things to avoid dealing with uncomfortable situations. There are people who cheat, learn, and never repeat the behavior. They are admittedly the exception to the rule as far as I can tell, but they certainly exist. I'd say she is probably lower risk of cheating again, having gained wisdom from a past mistake. I never get how someone is able to hurt someone they love, or at least are supposed to love, that deep in their heart and soul. I think doing that is more than just a mistake, and indicates there's something wrong deep down. I wouldn't say this is unfixable though. Everything can be fixed with hard work if you indicate what it is and work on it enough. Did she fix herself? You can ask her that, and see if you believe it. Or even better, work with her on it if she's willing to. Going against the grain here. Life is too short to gamble your time, energy and effort with someone who cheated in the past. Especially because she did it maliciously. I would bail. I have a potentially unpopular opinion of once a cheater always a cheater. No right answer here. I think it's good she told you, and the fact she seems remorseful is good. She may never cheat. Then again she might, but so might the next girl. Do what your gut is telling you and go with that, and if you stay with her, run when you see a red flag. I've been cheated on a few times, mostly in my teen years, and I hurt a lot. I ended up not being able to fully trust in relationships to the point my lack of trust was ruining things. I took some time to be single and realized that I got over all of those times and was able to continue. In those relationships I was always the good guy, and if someone ends up cheating on me I can just leave and find the right person who wouldn't do that, and I'm still the better person because I didn't stoop to that level. It really doesn't sound like this person would cheat on you because of the remorse she feels for the one time she did. But you can't live in fear. If you're feeling a lack of trust, do not let that build. Not to blow your mind in a negative way, but every single time you enter a relationship with someone, that risk is always there. Can't move forward if hold her captive to her past. If she didn't cheat on you, then give her a shot, don't condemn her. Everyone has a past, no one's perfect. Everyone is capable of cheating, and just because someone cheated in another relationship in the past doesn't mean they will cheat again. And even if someone never cheated doesn't mean they never will. As long as the two of you are communicating and open and honest with each other, that is what is important. Take your guidance from what the two of you have together now. She fessed up and owned it. What more are you truly thinking you need? We're all humans. B. Move slowly. There is no reason to rush. It only gets harder when integrating two lives. C. Know that the 7-year itch exists and bring it up early. Make an effort to inspire her daily and provide for her needs, and she won't have to look astray. D. In theory. Life is chaotic. Anyone commenting, "Once a cheater always a cheater," can just stop. First of all, props to her for opening up to you. I am guessing that she feels a tremendous amount of shame and guilt. Those emotions imply she very well knew she was wrong. Something I've learned is that cheating isn't because of an inability to communicate. It often stems from insecurity, or a toxic relationship that leaves a person feeling stuck or trapped. Do you know why she wanted out of the relationship? Why she couldn't easily exit? Once a cheater always a cheater. You cried because she cheated on her ex-boyfriend. This whole story is so dramatic that I shudder to think what a real problem would do to your life. Maybe don't date and work on you. There is no good advice, since this comes down to your gut and how you feel. To me she sounds remorseful, and I could definitely see me continuing the relationship in that situation, but I would know in the back of my mind that this might happen again, and know that I wouldn't get emotionally destroyed if she does end up cheating. Once a cheater always a cheater.